All right, so I'm doing this little video. I was debating on doing it because it's a little personal. But what it is it's about a degenerative disease that is called keratoconus. Now, what it is, it's a disease that affects your cornea, and basically your cornea goes out of shape. When that happens, all the light that comes into your eye, which is how you see, right? Everything that comes in, when it actually comes out, so your vision is blurry. I know that's kind of like a weird technical thing. I'm gonna put some graphs up in here just to um, explain this a little bit better. But at the end of the day, what it does is that you lose vision. Your visual acuity start, falling, and it can happen rapidly. It can happen slowly. And the one thing that is very important for people to know is that it affects everyone differently. So the progression is really different. And another fact that you need to know, if ever you're affected by this, or you know something that know someone that's affected by this, or someone has been diagnosed recently, unfortunately, not a lot of people are actual specialists in the disease. It's kind of rare. So what happens is that a lot of people will be specialists in one field, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But for me, I was diagnosed roughly about 3 or 4 years ago. I was going to for a checkup for glasses. Now at that time, I kind of had needed glasses, but I kind of didn't need the glasses. I was kind of like I was always like a back of the school class kind of guy. And then I noticed, like, hey, what the day that it really hit me. So I went to the to an optometrist, optician, whatever, and she was like, okay, here you're gonna do a vision. She was like, okay, you know what, your test is kind of off because like I'm seeing one letter, it kind of looks like another, like a E looks like a C, and L looks like an I. So she's like, I'm gonna run a couple of tests and whatnot, and she's like, yo, you have keratoconus. That's it. Here's your glasses. Here's your prescription. You get your glasses in 3 to 5 days. I don't know what it was, and honestly, at the age that I was, I kind of like, I'm not gonna research it. I'm not gonna blah blah blah. I'm sure it's nothing. Like in my mind, it was like it's just another term for like you can't see too far, so you need glasses sometimes or whatever. You know what I mean? Because my vision was still good. And I remember like one day it was like 6 months or a year later. I was looking up at a signpost, and I realized that we're a familiar signpost. I used to walk there all the time to go to the go take the bus. And one day I couldn't read what was on it, and it really hit me. I'm like, what the? I'm sorry, I'm trying not to curse on this one. Well, like, what the hell is going on? So, you know, there's a little bit of anxiety, but I'm a type of guy that like which is not a good thing, but like I will put that anxiety down. Um, and and by the way, my voice, I have a cold right now, so hopefully I'm not gonna cough all over the video. But so that was really like a turning point. And then I remember when they first started to talk to me, and that was like 2 years ago. They're like, okay, you know what? It's really bad because I was squinting all the time. They gave me glasses. I was still squinting. Right now, you can see probably you see like the purple tint in my or bluish kind of thing. I'll get to that later. Those are special glasses, but at that time, like I had glasses, but I still couldn't see. So people all around me couldn't understand. I'm like, well, you have glasses. You're supposed to see better than I do, and whatever. Which was not the case. I was standing at computers, and I was like, always like this, and you're always looking like this at people and whatever, which is annoying. Now, I went for the cross-linking procedure, which a lot of people in the States, I know that, it's not really FDA approved and whatnot. I'm assuming that you can be watching this from wherever you want in the world. Some people, if you're in the UK, have realized that they may have a better support or better understanding of the scope or the way that it can affect people differently. And here, where I am in Canada, there's I don't want to mess it up, but the Brookhaven Institute, whatever, something like that in Toronto, where they say they specialize in these things. But I live in Montreal, right? So I went to see one doctor to get I'm not going to name his name, to get the cross-linking procedure. Now, I paid, got the cross-linking. When I got back from the cross-linking, though, I'll tell you, man, my eyes were burning, like someone dipped my eyes in acid. on the way back home, I don't even remember really, but like my sister was like, you were yelling the whole time. I'm like, yeah, I would see myself doing that. And then for like a week I couldn't see, right? Because you can't really, you can't really see, you can't really open your eyes or anything. So that was a little bit frightening, because you know that you're not going to become blind with keratoconus, which is a good thing. But you always have like that, well, how much will I be able to see? You know what I mean? So not being able to see was an experience for me, because you really have to adapt. After the first day, it didn't really hurt. I mean, as long as you didn't try to open your eyes or look at something right over like the light or whatever, it was okay. It was still getting out. Kind of touching and feeling around, which is why like I know my apartment like the back of my hand now. But after the procedure, for some reason, you kind of have that thing where you think that, oh, okay, everything's gonna be okay now, right? It's not progressing anymore, or whatever. You go to see the doctor for follow up. It's like, yeah, everything's okay. I look at your eye. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's healing perfectly. Yes, we did a good job. And that's it. So he thinks he's done a good job. He's done with this. Sorry, I'm gonna try to maybe blur it out. I don't know. He's done with this thing. So I have another follow up with him a year later. Now, in the meanwhile, my eyes still hurt. Right, I always had that feeling where like my left eye had something in it. And I went back to see him. I was like, no, you got nothing. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, that's weird. I go back to work, and I can work regular days, but I realize like I really have to focus and really stretch my eyes to like its limit, and I got headaches all the time. I get home, I can't deal with light anymore, all that stuff. And I mean, like to me, it felt like it's not fair. You can't tell me everything is okay, and that's how I feel. So they come and tell me, well, go see your family doctor. The family doctor is like, well, I'm not an expert in eyes, so you'll have to see an ophthalmologist. I go and see another ophthalmologist. Now, that was last summer, so we're talking about like a couple of months ago, 8 months, something like that. Not a year, not a full year yet. They gave me these guys, these little guys. So these guys are rigid or semi-rigid lenses, right? You put on your eyes, and I'll put a picture up. When they put it in my eyes, and they had it fitted, it cost a pretty penny. So you don't want to lose them or whatever. But they put it in my eyes for me. Okay, it was kind of weird putting them in. It felt weird having them in, but I was overwhelmed by the fact that I could see so well. I'm like, I could see everything again. I'm like, man, I'll be able to drive, because they took off my license because I couldn't see anymore. And I can drive at night because halos and shit. So I'm thinking to myself, yeah, this is great. Few hours later, they start burning. I can't wear them anymore. I take them off. I try to put them back on. It just hurts. It feels like one of my eyes just doesn't want to deal with it at all. So I go to see another guy, and that guy tells me, well, I have a scar over the right eye, and that's probably why it's not taking it. And he says my left eye looks better than my right eye, which to me sounds weird, because my left eye is the one that, like, if I close my right eye and I'm just looking with my left eye, everything is so blurry, So in the past 6 months, getting around has been really hard. And after the news of like, you can't see anymore, you have these very expensive lenses, all that expensive stuff, you know what I mean? It's supposed to help you see, and I don't even have enough fingers for all that stuff. But these things, I can't wear them, so I can't see. So I have to go back to the start point. In the meanwhile, I try to deal with everything as if it's okay. At work, I'm doing more and more mistakes. A 7 is a 1, a 3 might be a B. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I'm just like guessing it. It's a guessing game. I see people from afar. I'm like, they say hi, I say hi. I'm not even sure who you are. Like after the time, I don't want to be rude, but after the time, I don't know who it is. And I'm walking and I'm bumping into people on this side, on my left side, because I don't, like, the distances are all off. So I went to get these glasses because my glasses broke. And which was always like a nightmare for me, to have my glasses broken. Because I was, man, what am I going to do? So can't really go around and do anything. Got my new glasses, so the doctor tells me, or the got to be precise, the optometrist tells me these glasses. So if you see the little tint when the light hits it, I'm trying to, there you go, whatever. It turns purple because it's supposed to, like, filter some of the light and help me see. And yes, it does. It does help me see to a degree. But the weird part is that when I take off my glasses, sometimes I feel like I see better because the distances are better. Like I know where things are, where I'm gonna touch something or whatever. Where I'm wearing these glasses, I feel like it's only good for like looking at stuff, like something that's in front of me. Like if I have a board in front of me, or if I have a, like a page in front of me, or my phone in front of me, I can read that. But when it comes to like the world around me, like, it's like these like mirrors when they say like it's kind of distorted and stuff. So I guess they had to be able to fit the progression of my disease. Now, since then, and we're talking about like a month ago, my vision has dropped even more. You so that's always frightening. I was, I heard someone, and of course, like it's a degenerative disease, not as bad as other degenerative disease, but sometimes you don't want to compare, oranges and apples. But the reality is that we still suffer. It's still something that we have to deal with. We think about our jobs, we think about our trade, we think about what we do, and we think about how we're going to be able to keep doing that in the future. If you have keratoconus, please comment down below. Let me know how you're doing and what your journey was. If you know someone that has it, please share this video. Share this video with them, so they can know what it's all about. And I would highly suggest that you go and check out other people's videos that actually talk about this subject, so you can be able to know about their journey. And don't be afraid to comment, especially down below. It is a safe zone, or I try to keep it that way. RIPD, try to keep it that way. So